KFIZ News Time 8:23. We are back. This is Landscape Smart, brought to you by Rademann Stone and Landscape Company. Rod Rademann joining us. Carol, the Master Gardener, is here. Lines are open, 923-1450. If you're bashful, email us at kfizstudio@gmail.com. And you said Rademann's is open this morning.
Yep, Rademann's open this morning until noon, so you can still get a delivery there. 920-922-7612, or stop on out. We're just 3 miles south of Fond du Lac, east of 41 on County B.
Yeah, avoid the cones.
Yeah.
They take them down on Saturday, don't they? I haven't been on 41 on Saturday.
I don't know if they're out that far or where they're
They're doing, I think, D to N or something. I don't know. It's a pretty good, healthy stretch. Anyhow, lines are open, 923-1450. Carol and I tried to field a question, and you may have something to add. The question was, is pruning okay now? But he didn't say pruning what. And then whether or not to use shears or a trimmer, which is better.
Well, I would try not to do any more trimming at this time of year, whether you're using a head shears or a trimmer. And I generally prefer to use a hand shears, a hand pruner, not a electric shears, just because it has a little more control. Now, if you're doing large expanses of clipped hedge, then
you'd need that.
You'd need that, yeah. But it's actually, to me, it's harder to trim with an electric trimmer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But we're past the prime.
Mm-hmm.
We're past the best part. You could probably get away with it yet this weekend, but I wouldn't do it any time after that.
Perfect weather for it this weekend, though.
Yes.
For a lot of things.
Yes, and if you have something broken off, of course you can cut the rest of it off and
any
be done if it's
branches,
broken branch and it's just hanging
or
there.
dead branches,
right.
Yeah.
Take those out.
But try to limit it. I wouldn't do a harsh shears, harsh trimming at this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
And that removal, if we're dealing with hedges of the older stalks,
that I would wait on.
That we wait now until.
Yeah, I would just lightly touch up the tips. Right now if you're trimming your hedge.
Alrighty. And the other question that I showed you the picture came from Brian. He sent a picture of a lawn with a problem.
Yeah, and that's a little bit bigger of a problem. I would have to, you'd almost have to visit to see what's going on there. There could be some grubs or something underneath there. It's a patch of dried up grass, and it's a considerable patch. So the only other thing it could be a lot of times if you get like wet, and if it would be a puddle area, that could kill it off. But for the most part, I think it's probably, there could be a grub or something that's working its way in through there that's eating the roots.
What is grub season? Is it all summer? Or
I think there's, yeah, for the most part.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But it might take till now to show up, because if they're eating those roots.
Then the damage is done.
Right. And it takes a while to eat enough of the roots where the grass dies out.
Will the grass come back, or is it done because the roots are gone?
No, it's pretty well done. You're going to have to reseed that area.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But you got to get rid of the grubs first.
Right.
Okay. Well, hopefully that answers both Thomas's and Brian's questions this morning. And, excuse me, the email is available, as are the phone lines, 923-1450, KFIZstudio@gmail.com. Other thing we commented on, maybe you were hearing it, we were talking about the gardens and the smallness of the tomatoes this year.
Yeah, and I don't know why that would be.
I don't know either. No. And I get the same varieties almost every year, but instead of a tomato, this, as big as a smaller baseball, they're half of that size. And people are asking me why, and I don't have an answer for it. I think I don't know. Maybe they didn't like the heat. Not sure. I didn't like the heat anyway, so maybe the tomatoes don't either.
Could be.
Well, the weather was kind of variable. We had some hot days, but they didn't last long.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a lot of cooler days too. So
Yeah, I don't know.
When it was hot, it was really, really hot. When it was cool, it was cool.
yeah, now we're in a cool pattern, and we shouldn't really be in a cool pattern.
Yeah.
Not for this time of year, but after all the humidity that we've had, I think a lot of us are saying, ah. All righty.
Kind of the same with the grass. It's everybody getting theirs cut. We had a week where you weren't out there cutting grass anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's about it. There wasn't many. You were cutting pretty well every week this summer.
Sometimes twice.
Yeah, it needed it again. On my personal lawn, it definitely needed it yesterday.
Yeah, mine's close. Next couple days, I'll be doing the same thing. And speaking of lawns, what about the fertilization program with us being now the latter half of August? Are we doing anything yet, or?
It's a little early yet right now, although it's supposed to stay cool. So, the extended forecast calls for quite a bit of cool weather, so you could get a jump on that early September feeding.
Which is step 3.
Step 3, yeah.
Okay. And 4, we wait till
That's not until
October.
end of October,
Yeah.
early November.
Okay. And then talking about pruning, let's move it to trees. Can you trim some low-hanging branches now on like maples, or is that out of season now too?
Well, again, limit your pruning to what really is necessary. And so, yeah, if there's one branch that's really bothering you, go ahead and take that off.
But other than that,
But other than that,
No.
try not to do any
fancy trimming.
Right. If you've got a younger tree, don't take out 3, 4, 5 branches right now.
Okay.
Take one small one and leave the rest for later.
And later would be after the leaves have fallen?
After the leaves have fallen, yeah. More like when you can see what you're doing, middle of October, middle of November.
Because I got a couple of branches that are starting to hang pretty darn low over the roadway. And it's not a city tree. It's just a tree
yours.
it's mine. It's close to the sidewalk. I didn't plant it. It's been there 60 years. But branches and leaves are hanging pretty darn low on the roadway.
Uh-huh. Yeah, then you should probably remove it, because if a truck goes by, it would break it off.
It's going to be broken. Yeah, I know.
And then you'll have a different decision to make,
Yes.
Yeah.
So
With the road
this
construction.
way you're under control.
Yeah. Road construction on my intersection kind of is what enlightened me to the fact that, these things should be trimmed because they did break some off.
Oh,
Not a lot. They're small ones, foot and a half only, small branches. But anyhow, I got another chore to put on my to-do list. Yeah.
Yes. Everybody has those.
Yeah. My paper isn't big enough. 923-1450, lines are open. It's a time of year when we're thinking about the end of the growing season, actually, for gardens and flower gardens, veggie gardens. Any suggestions on what we should be looking for or doing now, or just harvesting until?
I would say harvesting until, yes. But like I mentioned a little bit earlier, take the debris away. It's not good to leave that lay in your garden.
What, any trimming on tomato plants, like bottom leaves, to help the fruit maybe do better?
I don't know. Usually the people that do that fine pruning like that do it right away. There's no real advantage now unless they're, really getting mildewy and that from hanging on the ground. But other than that, there's no real reason
It's
to
not
do
going
it
to help
anymore
anything.
now. No.
Okay. Good. One I can cross off the list.
Off the list. Okay.
got that one done.
Yeah.
That done. Yes.
Thank you, Carol. How are you on vacuuming and dusting? Can I cross those off?
Cross those off too. Yes. Maybe.
All righty, lines are open. They are working.
They are working.
I had birthday calls this morning.
Well,
lines
good.
are working. 923-1450. You got a question or a problem? Give us a holler. And again, the email is kfizstudio@gmail.com. So what else is new? How about the landscaping business? Is this a good time of the year to plan, or still do, or?
Well, it's it's a good time for planting. Everybody's still planting. As a matter of fact, you want to get as far as getting your lawn in, get that planted any time here now, especially with these cooler temperatures forecasted for the next 10 days. Be a great time to do lawn seeding and planting and trees and shrubs for that matter. So, yeah, don't put that off until fall. Might as well get it done now.
Okay. The weather's fine.
Yeah, if it's going to stay cool, that would be a good deal compared to more 80-degree days. Yes.
Yeah, with humidity. Much more comfortable. And I'm out of subject matter. I don't know what to ask, so I defer to the experts.
Well, let's see. I don't know. What do we need to talk about, Ron?
I'm still catching my breath.
I know. That's why I was asking all the questions I could think of to ask.
Yes.
But somebody could help by calling in a question.
We got both of the questions that were on
We did.
the TV
We
there,
did.
though. Yes. Okay.
Thomas and Brian have got their answers.
Good.
I'm not
We
sure
hope.
if Thomas's is totally answered because we didn't know exactly what he wanted to prune, but we answered
Yeah, and we didn't do too well on Brian's either. We're not 100% sure there either.
what it is.
But
So what should,
sometimes a picture helps and sometimes it doesn't.
Yes.
Yeah. So what do you recommend for him with a problem like that? Get a landscaper out or
Yeah, I think I would maybe call in a professional and have them look at it because it could be spreading to other parts of his lawn too, and you don't want it to continue or move into other areas. So I would probably, get a hold of, a lawn care professional and have them look at it.
now some of the guys that you brought in as guests this summer, they're lawn people, aren't they?
Yeah, you could, in a situation like that, Paul from Country Touch would be a good one to consult. You could also check in with Stewart's, and even some of the lawn, the lawn maintenance people. I'm not exactly sure on those guys exactly who does what. The big box guys, let's just call them. That's all they do is lawn care, and if they couldn't figure it out, there'd be something wrong too.
So there's some options. All righty. 923-1450. There's your option.
There's our option. Yes.
Call your question. Now, the other option is kfizstudio@gmail.com. So there are options. All righty. We could take our second break. Let Ron finish catching his breath here.
Yeah. So Rademann's is open today till noon, Monday through Friday till 4:30. And, of course, you can still get a delivery. Give us a call, 920-922-7612. And if you can stop on out, that would be even better yet. Just 3 miles south of Fond du Lac and then east on 41, about a quarter mile right there at the crest of the hill.
We will be right back. KFIZ News Time, 8:38, 923-1450. We had a couple of people try to call in. Weren't able to get to the phones, but now we can. And again, just as a reminder, we can only take one call at a time. With the system that is here, I don't have the opportunity off air to talk to anybody, which is okay if you want to keep busy, but you can't talk to people. So if you want to call in now, 923-1450, we'll get you on the air. 923-1450. And again, the email address, kfizstudio@gmail.com. Should anybody be planting any type of fall crops at this point, Carol?
I don't know. I really thought I just planted beans again because my first ones the deer ate off. So I planted them maybe 3 weeks ago, and I thought that could work. But there was a lot of heat, and they're getting, halfway good looking. They're, maybe 8 inches high. So I think I might have some luck with that. A lot of people do a fall crop of, let's say, lettuce and radishes and those kinds of things, so that, they do have a second crop of that. Now, Ron just talked about the weather, and it sounds like we're going to get a cool span here. So those being cool crops, a lot of people do that in the fall and have a second go at it. I don't know if I want to bother with the deer eating them away anyway, so I haven't decided if
But
I'm going to do that.
For those without a deer problem,
Without a deer
you could go ahead
problem,
and
you could
that.
do that again, and it would be a good idea. If you have
Alrighty.
seed around, why not? Right.
Okay. We do have a caller. Good morning. You're on the air.
Thank you. I was wondering if this is a good time to just cut down my hostas completely. They're done blossoming. They're not looking so good anymore.
I don't think there's a problem with cutting them down, except that you're just going to look at the little nubs for a long time yet. But if they're getting that mildewy kind of stuff, then I would cut out that much anyway. There are some of the hostas that tend toward that. But otherwise, it's a matter of preference. I don't think you're going to shorten their life or anything like that by cutting them off now. Especially, like you said, if are things eating at them, so there's like holes in the leaves and all that?
Yes.
I don't think it would make any difference to cut them off now. No.
Okay. And then is this a good time to transplant some of them to another area?
Yeah, I don't know why that wouldn't be either, especially if we're talking cool and rainy weather for the next couple of weeks. I think you could get away with that. Otherwise, it would be more difficult. You don't want to do it when it's really hot. So I think you should be able to do that.
Okay, thank you. Just one other comment. I have lived in the same place for 45 years, and when I moved in, there were snow on the mountain plants here. And in the last few years, and just rapidly, like this year, they've turned from being green and white to just being completely green. And I was wondering if other people were experiencing this as well.
I only know of that plant from a friend who has it in the garden. So I'm not sure why that would have happened. Maybe they aren't that happy, seeing as you're talking about snow and mountains. Maybe they're not that happy with the heat. I'm not sure. Maybe if somebody else has that plant and could, give us a call and let us know what they think.
Okay.
But it's just dying off now, you're saying.
Well, it just happened over the last, maybe 3 years or so and I have them in a couple of different areas, and they've just gone from being very pretty green and white to just being all green. Just more and more of the area would just become all green. And I don't like them all green. I'm just going to dig them out and get rid of them because they aren't pretty if they aren't the green and white.
Well, the white's the little tiny blossomy thing, right?
Right.
Right.
They go along all the leaves, and they just make it a very attractive filler like that then. And so now it's just not. And I don't know if it's something in the environment that has changed or what has caused this. It's just...
Yeah. Let's see if we get a listener who knows. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Sure.
Good luck with it. 923-1450. That line is now open. Give a shout. 923-1450, 1-888-900-1450 is a number that works as well. And again, email kfizstudio@gmail.com. So if you plant these fall crops now, there is enough time to get them before, what is our normal frost? End of October? Or
We
November?
could have, they talk about the frost on the pumpkin, so that would be early-ish, right? Then mid. And lettuce only takes maybe 3 weeks, right? From seed to being there.
never planted
It's
it.
early. Oh, you don't ever plant lettuce?
Never
Yeah.
planted lettuce,
Yeah. It looks pretty out there, actually. Yes.
but I also have rabbits.
Yeah. Well,
Which explains, I can't say I never planted lettuce. We did a couple years, and we watched our non-crop.
yes. Yes. No, you can do it. I think there's time yet now. Yes.
Okay. So if you're looking for something to do yet this year in your garden, and you got the
Plant a few
space,
things in. Yes.
alrighty. 923-1450. Lines are open. They're available. You can get your questions answered. We had a call that was trying to come in. Give us a call again now. Give it a try because the line is open. And again, just a reminder, we can only handle one call at a time. Stupid phone system, but it's the one that we got. So if I'm talking to somebody, I can't put somebody on hold. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. I have a question about roses.
Okay.
This is my first year of having them, so right now they just bloomed, and what do you call those little heads?
Yep.
Do we trim those off, or do we not trim now till spring?
You're talking about the hips, what the
Yes.
little pod-like thing that's left there?
Yes.
Yes. That I think you can cut those off and it doesn't make any difference. You just want to be cutting your rose bush back, particularly right now.
Yeah, I'd get rid of those hips because what they
Oh.
does is that actually puts energy into that seed production. So if you wanted to put it into the roses or into the foliage or into the root system rather than into the actual seed, because you don't really care about the seeds.
Okay. Do you think they'll bloom anymore when I cut these back, or are they done now for this season?
No, you might get some more, and that might be one exception to the rule is trimming roses. You probably could trim off those spent flowers and those rose hips, and maybe you would get some more flowers later in the summer or early in the fall season, let's just say.
Okay. All right, I will do that. Thank you.
Okay, good luck with the project. 923-1450, 1-888-900-1450. Lines are yours. I think this is still the last call. Yep, it is. Takes a while for the phone to disconnect. But lines are there. Give us a holler. KFIZ studio at gmail.com. And we have a question from Lori, and she wants to know, is it too late to trim evergreens? I try to shape a certain evergreen in our yard each summer. That helps keep it smaller, so Christmas lights are easier to string. We're talking Christmas already. And normally I do this in late July. What are your thoughts? Second question, should flower bulbs be planted now for spring blooming? So, a two-part question.
What kind of flower bulbs?
She doesn't say. Maybe she'll get back to us with what bulbs she wants to
Well,
plant.
I would imagine it's tulips and things like that. I would wait a while to do that. You don't want them growing now if you're going to plant them later in the fall, correct?
Yeah, I think I would
Late,
wait
way late.
on most bulbs yet.
Till the first frost? Or
No,
Maybe a month yet,
yeah.
frost or
into
not?
October, I would go
Okay.
before I
Yeah,
plant
end of
them.
September, early October.
Yep.
And then the evergreen trim.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that anymore. You're not gonna. It's really too late. There, you want to do that starting anytime after about the first part of July, July 1 through the entire month of July into maybe the first or second week of August. But now that we're into the third, almost the fourth.
Yeah, getting there. And the reason for that is what? The trim thing doesn't heal properly before winter?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you're going to end up with some dead tips in there. They burn. You're going to get winter burn on those tips.
So
So it'll look that your tree, instead of having a branch out there, it'll have a brown tip out that way. Wherever you cut, you'll have a brown tip.
So
And so
don't trim evergreens,
No.
at least now.
At least now, right.
And then wait again until next July.
Well, you could either, if you can't wait until July, at least wait until April, and then do it towards the end of April or 1st of May.
So Lori, without trimming, is probably going to have to get another string of Christmas lights.
Yeah, she's going to need another string for this year. Yeah,
That
And a
was your
ladder, maybe,
question.
Lori.
Yes, yes.
yeah.
923-1450. Lines are open.
One of the questions I got a couple people that sent me pictures this past week, and it's their autumn blaze that's turning red already. And upon closer look, what's happening is there's mites in there. And autumn blaze maple is one of the varieties of maple that's really susceptible to mites. And of course, mites you can't see. They're tiny little bumps that show up on the leaves. And it's what that is actually. It's the tree kind of trying to fight the mite off. And what those mites are doing actually is they're sucking the chlorophyll out of the leaves. So when you suck all the green out of the leaves, you're left with the red. So it gives you the impression that your autumn blaze maple is turning red prematurely because it's not supposed to be turning fall colors here in the middle of August. And so what's happening is the mites are actually turning that maple, and that's why you'll see spots or areas within the tree that are worse than others turning red. And there's nothing to do at this point in time. You'd have to spray a insecticide or a miticide actually on it more in the spring, in June, early July, to knock those mites back at that point in time. By now, there isn't really anything to do about it.
Would that be something like 8?
Yeah, yep.
Which is multifaceted, isn't it?
Right. 8 has a miticide in it also. Mm-hmm.
And you got that.
Yeah, yep.
Is that a hose attachment?
Well, we have it a couple of different ways at Rademann's, and if you have a 50-foot autumn blaze, you're not going to.
That was going to be my next question. You need a fire hose.
Yeah, you're not going to get it completely, but at least you're kind of helping out the best part of the tree if you can get up there halfway. And an older tree is less vulnerable also. The younger trees would be more susceptible, more at risk, let's just say.
Must be tastier for the bugs.
Yeah.
All righty, let's take our final break.
All right. Break time. Rademann's again open today till noon, Monday through Friday till 4:30. And of course, you can still get a delivery if you give them a call right now at 922-7612 or stop on out. We're just 3 miles south of Fond du Lac and then east on County B, a quarter mile right down the road there, right there at the crest of the hill.
Be right back. KFIZ News Time, 8:54. We are back. The final few minutes of this week's edition of Landscape Smart, brought to you by Rademann Stone and Landscape Company. Ron is here. Master Gardener Carol is here. Lines are open, but you better call now so we can get your question answered. 923-1450, 1-888-900-1450. And on the email side, it's kfizstudio@gmail.com. Any other questions you're being hit with during the course of the week? Because that's usually a source of problems that people are experiencing when you're getting calls on something.
Yeah, and that's I was just trying to think if there was anything else that caught my attention. Sometimes the calls or the questions or the pictures, texts, whatever I get, they aren't timely, so I don't. Or we've already talked about them.
Yeah, one or the other.
One or the other, right?
Because a lot of times it's the same questions, on trimming and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess, keep in mind watering. Right now we've had plenty of rain, so, I would say hold off on watering. Do keep in mind, though, that, as the next week goes on here, we haven't had, our rain was all last weekend. So we do have to be alert to, for irrigating as this week goes on, because it doesn't sound like there's going to be much rain in the forecast.
Nothing through Friday.
There was a little chance last night, but I don't think we got any around here.
No, I think it scooted around us if there was any in the Fox Valley at all. Mm-hmm. There were some in the North Woods that went through, but it was a limited chance down here. And streets were dry at 3.
Yeah.
And before that, my eyelids were dry.
Yes.
No, I don't think we got anything here overnight.
No. And if we did, it would have been just a sprinkle because there was nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. 923-1450, last call for your call, last call for your email, kfizstudio@gmail.com.
On those mites, we could go back there a little bit yet, because one question that I do get with that always is, if people are looking at a new tree, well, are other varieties susceptible to mites? And yes, to a certain degree, but I think the autumn blaze is worse than most varieties of maple. So, a lot of times we can use that as an identifying factor. Sometimes it's hard to tell the different varieties of Freeman maple, and if you've got a lot of mites on yours, it probably means it is an autumn blaze.
All righty. Let's grab a question. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. What was the product you mentioned for wasp? I have some that decided to take up residence under my siding.
The name was Revenge.
Revenge.
That we were talking earlier on
Yeah,
about
I heard that. Yeah.
ground wasps,
Uh-huh.
and one of the listeners recommended that.
Mm-hmm.
So would that be okay for the ones underneath the siding?
Oh,
And
yeah.
does Raderman's have it?
No, we don't actually have anything that would solve that problem.
Okay.
So I think you know, go down to True Value, like you said, and it's probably as good a spot as any is to
Right.
find it there.
It was
They've
called
got everything.
Revenge, and that was where she said she had gotten it, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All righty. Okay, this weekend. Thanks a lot.
Sure
Time
thing.
to get revenge on your wasps.
Exactly.
That's
oh my
the perfect
goodness.
name.
Yeah.
Really. Have a good one.
Good
Bye-bye.
luck with it. Been down that road with that problem. It is not a pleasant problem to have.
Now, we have a paper wasp nest, though, which is, you don't see those very often anymore, and it's way back in our woods. And I didn't see any wasp outside of it, but I'm guessing it's full of wasp. I'm not sure. I didn't stick around that long. Didn't have time, but I'm going to walk back there again this afternoon and look at it because they are really cool. I'd really like to bring it in, but I don't think that's really a good idea.
No, you might
Till I
have
check it out.
might have residents
Might
joining
have
you.
residents,
Yeah.
and I would need the revenge, right?
Well, once they abandon it, yeah.
Yes. They're really cool.
All righty.
Yeah, you always see them hanging up once the leaves fall off the tree, and you wonder how you didn't see that big nest there until after the leaves drop.
Ours is like just at eye level. It's low. I'm just surprised that they wouldn't have put it up higher in the thing and gotten some
More protection.
risk out of it. Yes, more protection. Right.
All righty. With the band striking up,
There we go.
it sounds the end of this week's edition.
Wow, goes by quick when you miss the first section.
Don't make that a habit.
Yeah, sorry about that, Carol.
That's okay. We were good.
So anyway, Rademann's, of course, open today till noon, Monday through Friday till 4:30. And, of course, you can stop on out yet this morning or on, well, not this, this Monday we will still be open yet. It's the following Monday is Labor Day.
Right.
So
Right.
anyway,
All righty. Our thanks to Ron, our thanks to Master Gardener Carol, and our thanks as always to you for your questions. We'll be back next week.